got Michal first. Michal Krizo, the bodybuilding monster who looked too big to be real. What if I told you that one of the most terrifying physiques in modern bodybuilding didn't arrive quietly? It arrived like a warning. Whoa! When Michal Krizo stepped onto the bodybuilding scene, fans immediately noticed something different. This wasn't simply another competitor trying to build bigger arms or a wider back. This was size on another level. His combination of massive shoulders, gigantic arms, thick legs, and an unbelievably wide upper body made people stop scrolling and stare. Krizo quickly became known for a physique that seemed almost unreal under the lights. But the biggest surprise wasn't just his size, it was how fast he turned himself into a serious threat. Today, the rise of a giant. Born in Slovakia, Krizo built his reputation through years of hard training and competition. As his physique developed, bodybuilding fans began asking the same question. How big can this guy actually get? His structure gave him an extraordinary foundation. Broad shoulders created an enormous frame, while his arms and legs added the kind of thickness that made his silhouette instantly recognizable. And then came the stage. Under bodybuilding lights, every weakness gets exposed. Every imbalance becomes obvious. Every missed detail can cost a competitor. But Krizo brought something that immediately captured attention: overwhelming presence. When he hit his poses, his physique didn't simply look muscular. It looked massive. To everything. The arms that shocked everyone. One of the first things fans notice about Krizo is his arms. They are not nearly large. They look like they were built to dominate the stage. His biceps and triceps create incredible thickness from almost every angle, especially when combined with his huge delts. And that combination creates one of bodybuilding's most dramatic visual effects, the arm-to-waist contrast. Massive upper body development surrounding a relatively tight midsection can make a competitor look dramatically larger than the scale suggests. Krizo understood that visual impact, and he used it. She might be about to spell's time. Well, this is the back, where the monster really appears. But here's where things become even more frightening. Turn Krizo around, and the physique changes completely. His back development gives him the appearance of an enormous human wall. Wither, thickness, density. Those three words define the visual impact. A great bodybuilding back isn't just about having large muscles. It's about creating separation, depth, and the illusion of extreme width. Krizo's lats and upper back development helped create that unmistakable V-taper, while his thick musculature added another layer of intimidation. And when he spreads his lats, the stage suddenly looks smaller. But size alone doesn't win. Here's the twist. Bodybuilding isn't simply a competition to discover who weighs the most. If it were, the biggest competitor would automatically win. But that's not how this sport works. Judges evaluate muscularity, conditioning, symmetry, proportion, presentation, and overall balance. That means a competitor can be absolutely enormous and still have areas that need improvement. And this is exactly what makes Krizo's journey so fascinating. The more he develops, the more people wonder how far he can take the package. Can he combine his freakish size with razor-sharp conditioning? Can he bring maximum fullness without sacrificing detail? Can he maintain his massive structure while improving proportion? Those questions are what keep bodybuilding fans watching. Krizo eventually reached the biggest stage in bodybuilding, the Mr. Olympia. And suddenly, the man who had shocked fans online was standing alongside some of the most elite physiques on Earth. That is a completely different battle. At the highest level, every competitor is dangerous. Every competitor has enormous muscles. Every competitor has years of sacrifice behind them. But Krizo brought something that is difficult to teach, a physique that demands attention. His sheer scale creates an immediate visual impact, and that's why fans continue to debate his potential. Because when someone possesses that much muscularity, the imagination starts running wild. What happens if the conditioning gets even better? What happens if the detail catches up with the size? What happens if this giant finally puts everything together perfectly? That's the question. But behind all the massive muscles is something audiences sometimes forget: discipline. A physique like Krizo's doesn't appear overnight. It requires years of training, nutrition, recovery, consistency, and an almost obsessive commitment to improvement. The public sees the final pose, they don't see the cough. They don't see the meals. They don't see the exhaustion. They don't see the days when motivation disappears. They only see the monster under the lights. And perhaps that is the most shocking part. The future could be even more terrifying. Michal Krizo has already established himself as one of the most visually striking bodybuilders of his generation. But bodybuilding has taught fans one brutal lesson: never assume a physique has reached its limit. One improvement in conditioning can transform a competitor. One improvement in posing can completely change presentation. 1 year of intelligent training can add another layer of density. And if Krizo continues refining his physique while preserving the incredible mass that made him famous, the next version could be even more shocking. Because the bodybuilding world has already seen the giant. Now everyone wants to know what happens when the giant becomes even more complete. Michal Krizo isn't just another bodybuilder. He is a reminder of how far human muscular development can be pushed. And when that massive frame walks onto a bodybuilding stage, people don't just watch, they stare. They react, and they ask the same question: how is that physique even real? The story of Michal Krizo isn't over. And if his next chapter is bigger, harder, and more conditioned than the last, bodybuilding fans better be ready, because the monster may not have reached his final form yet.